everyone. Reports you may have heard that the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Committee will recommend at its June 23rd meeting the stadium for the Oakland Raiders over Las Vegas Convention Center expansion are completely wrong. Now, for those of you who are seeing this video for the first time and thinking, gee, what's Zenny talking about? I'll give you a little recap. By my estimate, since last year late, but more in earnest, starting in January of this year, late January, the Oakland Raiders went behind the back of the city of Oakland and started meeting with UNLV officials regarding a site near the Las Vegas Strip owned by UNLV that the Raiders felt would be a great home for them, which means that they would be relocating or trying to relocate from Oakland to Las Vegas. I say they did this behind the back of the city of Oakland because Oakland officials have told me repeatedly they were never informed of the Raiders' actions. Indeed, the person who put out the word about this was UNLV President Lynn Jessup in an email that was distributed on the 28th of January. In the email, he mentioned that the Raiders were coming to visit and were going to look at the UNLV site. But the Raiders are trying to keep it quiet. Meanwhile, they told the city of Oakland, look, let's wait and see how the Houston NFL owners meeting turns out regarding who gets to relocate in Vegas, and if it's not us, then we'll renegotiate our lease for the Coliseum. But we won't meet with you until those two things have happened. As you know, the Rams returned to Las Vegas. The Raiders were not granted the right to, Los Angeles. The Raiders were not granted the right to go to Los Angeles, or more specifically Carson. And then the new lease for the Coliseum was signed on the 27th of April of this year. It was that gap that Mark Davis used to reach out to Las Vegas officials and work with the Las Vegas Sands Corporation and Majestic Realty. On the 28th of April, basically one day after the lease was signed, Mark Davis gave a speech to the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Committee, sitting alongside soccer star David Beckham and presenting a proposal for a stadium for the Raiders and Major League Soccer in Las Vegas, ostensibly at that time at the UNLV site. That set in motion a number of media reports, meetings, and Oakland Raider efforts in Oakland to maintain its effort to build a stadium in Oakland. So, meanwhile, between social media and traditional media, there was always a rush to assume that the Las Vegas story was a done deal. Interviewing people like NFL Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones or Bob Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. And even though they will say, hey, look, it's great to study Las Vegas, so we think it's a great idea, those comments were spun and shortened into, I support the Raiders leaving Oakland for Las Vegas. Even when that wasn't the case for what these gentlemen exactly said. But I digress. Meanwhile, Nevada has been studying the Raiders Stadium, and as my sources tell me, they regard the Raiders Stadium as one project that is separate but complementary to the Las Vegas Convention Center expansion. The Las Vegas Convention Center expansion plan costs a total of $1.4 billion. At the same April 28th meeting where Mark Davis spoke, the media that went to the meeting only listened to Mark Davis. They only went to the meeting when it was his time to speak on the agenda. They completely ignored the other agenda item about the Las Vegas Convention Center expansion. Had they paid attention to it, they would have learned that hotel tax money or increase in it was already earmarked at that meeting on that day, for the Las Vegas Convention Center expansion. The hotel tax money was already earmarked. Meanwhile, as my source told me today, people have to remember that the stadium is new. It was just literally brought to us. That's true. And so, as my source said, one of them, we are in our due diligence phase, and we're going to, we anticipate a couple of more meetings, basically, before they can complete their conclusions. Remember, they have until the end of the fiscal year, which is July 31st. This meeting does not mark the end of the fiscal year. You have to remember that. June 23rd is not the end of their fiscal year. So, the situation is that Las Vegas is not desperate for an NFL team. This opportunity was brought to Las Vegas leaders. If they earmark the hotel tax and increase it in such a way where it can accommodate not just the $1.4 billion expansion, but the Raiders Stadium, it comes where there's very little surplus left over. Very little cushion in case, for example, there's a cost increase or anything else. The other situation, as some of you know, is that there are a number of people balking at $750 million going to a football stadium, as opposed to the universally accepted need to expand the convention center using hotel tax money, universally within the universe of Clark County. Something else that you should be informed of if you don't know. Some of you will say, well, Las Vegas Mayor Goodman has thrown her weight around behind this, and she wants it, but get this. The stadium site at UNLV is not in Las Vegas. It is in an unincorporated area of Clark County. The second site, where the Riviera is located now, the famous hotel that's due to be demolished about a week from now, that site is also in, that's right, not Las Vegas, but an unincorporated area of Clark County. What does that mean? It means that Las Vegas does not have control over the situation as much as it would had the sites been in Las Vegas proper. Understand? So Clark County really holds all the cards, and with it, the state of Nevada. So, my friend also informed me that UNLV site has what is called, or what this person referred to as hairs on it. Those hairs have to do with the fact that it's near the runways. Those of you who follow this story know that aspect of what I'm talking about very, very well. But my source also emphasized that, look, a football stadium would add additional space for us, and Las Vegas, being as creative as it is, can figure out different ways to use it to the tune of about 50 or 60 events beyond what a regular city like Oakland could, this person's contention. Now, with that, a football field is 57,000 acres. Excuse me, it's been a long day. 57,000 square feet. 57,000 square feet. And if you consider the corridors of the stadium in other areas, you could squeeze out about 200,000 square feet of convention space in a football facility. But that pales in comparison to the 5 million square foot renovation and expansion plan for the Las Vegas Convention Center. 2 million square feet will be renovated. 3 million new square feet will be added in the total plan, which includes the land that the Riviera sits on right now. So again, where we are is that the football stadium is still in the study phase. Right now it's in the analysis phase. There's the analysis phase, the politics phase, the financing phase, okay? The approval phase, the construction phase. It's 5 phases. the stadium is still in the analysis phase, but people in the media want to push it all the way to the construction phase. That's not how it works, folks. Reports that the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Commission are going to approve an NFL stadium over Las Vegas Convention Center are completely wrong. Any report that says that should be taken down immediately. It's wrong. Completely wrong. Oh, and where is the Las Vegas Convention Center in all of this? They too are excited about an NFL stadium, but they want the expansion. They're trying to figure out how to fit the stadium in their plans. So right now, Vegas is in the we're trying to figure this out phase, okay? I hope Vegas gets an NFL team at some point. But candidly, not the Raiders. I don't want to go into a long diatribe about it, but Mark Davis should do what the NFL and Roger Goodell wants him to do. Focus on creating a long-term stadium solution here in Oakland. He has been given plans. He has moved the shell. But Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf has recently said that Larry McNeil, the Raiders' new stadium point person, has made negotiating much easier. My words, not hers. That process should be made to play out to the completion of the kind of stadium that Raiders fans deserve right here in Oakland.